Well, hello everybody and welcome along today. Today you find us on Coldborough Park Farm. We are going to be starting a new little series here, and we're going to be focusing on livestock primarily. We have a mixed farm here. Arable consists of approximately about 100 acres or so. And honestly, with the way the prices are going at the moment, it's primarily there just for straw and feed for animals. In addition to that, we have about 60 head of cattle, about 100 head of sheep, and we're always looking to increase those. So that may well increase as the series develops. We're looking over just a few of our sheep in the paddock here. A few of them, most of them are out in the other grassland around the farm we have at the moment. Primarily, we farm Texels, which are like these little guys here with the bigger, broader, square head. Effectively, it's a nice little ewe there. Actually, she look very good. And we do have a few of the hardy breeds, such as Clin sheep, in there as well. So the sheep that can kind of survive on their own a little bit more when the weather's not so great. So this is our yard for those who've never been here before. Some of you may have seen this in previous series. But we'll have a quick look around. I'm actually currently today waiting for my contractor to arrive, who is going to be rowing up some silage for us. We lift our own silage here, but we just don't have a rake big enough, or we don't have a rake to put it all into reasonable sized swaths. At the moment, we primarily use hay bobs and hay turners just to turn our grass, and that's a little bit too small. So we'll kind of wait. We're all stuck waiting for him to come before we can make a decent start. But the silage will be coming into this pit here. It is grass silage. We'll be probably making 2 or 3 cuts of it. The first cut is always going to be in the pit, and then the rest of it will probably just go into bales if we do need some more. We're quite a small farm. We don't have much machinery at all. I like to maintain my machinery, so it's not all brand new. There's a lot of older machines around the place, and they're doing me well. Such as my pride and joy of the 1455 case. We've had that on the farm here since 1986, I believe this arrived, and it's still working as well now as it did then. It's about 140 horsepower, give or take, although it was when it was new. It's probably lost a few horses since then, actually, so it's probably coming in around 115, 20-ish, I imagine, these days. As you can see there, we've got an old Massey 3080 which still runs true as well. We have a lot of grass equipment, and we have some small arable equipment, but nothing too major. Primary focus is maintaining our grassland, which is why we've got our mowers, our bale wrapper there, one of the 2 hay bobs. Our dietary feeder is probably the most used piece of equipment on the farm at the moment. That's out there pretty much daily. As we do farm with milker cattle, we do have dairy cows here, so we do have to feed those guys twice a day. Even when it's the summer months, we kind of need just to boost up their food really, and their nutrients and minerals, so they can produce high enough output and yield for the milk. So there's one of our 2 silage trailers. A little bit older West trailers, they're still doing us good. I have no idea or no inclination in wanting to trade those out. I'm still very happy with how they work. And then of course we've got a slurry pit around the back here, and our muck heap at the moment. This pretty much sums up my arable equipment. Like I say, we harvest primarily for straw. We get a little bit of income from the grain we sell. Nothing too dramatic, so it's primarily, like I say, just so to allow us to have bedding for the livestock. Hence the reason we've got an old combine here. I think we've got about a 15-foot cut on that, maybe a bit less on the old Case International. But again, we look after it. We make sure we service it every year, and it's kept in good condition, and it does its job still. I can't ask any more from it than that. Again, this was bought second hand. I think I was bought about 20 years ago, so it wasn't even new to us when we got it. Put a bit of money into investment, into repairing a few things and maintaining it, but it's still doing its job. So that's and long may it continue, really. We've got some cultivation equipment there, just so we can keep everything. We like to do as much of the work as we can in-house. I'm a firm believer that if you look after your machines, they will look after you. So we make good choices when we come to invest in equipment. and then we make even better choices in terms of mechanics we use and fitters, so we can keep an eye on everything. One of the newest bits of kit in the farm actually is our new sprayer, which is tucked in the corner here. This is our tractor shed primarily, so everything will be tucked in here when we're not using it. So we have the Amazon sprayer, and then we also have the front tank to go with it, and a fertilizer spinner, of course. You may notice there's no loader on the farm here. We don't have a telehandler. I have 2 front loaders for 2 of my tractors, one to go into the Massey here, and there's a loader in the shed there, and we've got another front loader on the Ford around the corner. The reason I do that is I was never a fan of a telehandler. I always like having the full view from a tractor loader, and I like the utility and the versatility of a tractor. I like that option of being able to do any job with any tractor I own on the farm here. And if I had a telehandler, I couldn't very well go and drop a fertilizer spinner onto the back of it and go and put some fertilizer out. So that's why we don't have one on the farm at the moment. And here's the final tractor. We've got the New Holland T680, and possibly the oldest piece of equipment on the farm here. This here is my forager, my Massey 200. Now, this is much older than me. I believe this is in the region of 33, 35 years old, and it is still working, but barely just. It is. I don't really need it on this tractor here, but it's possibly the most comfortable for the work I have. And it is just managing to keep up at the moment. This might be its last harvest. If I can find the money and the right machine to replace it, we might do it after this year. But for the time being, we're going to keep on keeping on, as they say, and we're going to push through here. It takes a little bit longer than you would like it to because the machine is a bit older, but it can still just sort of do the job. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to walk up into one of our fields over here. So we've knocked down, to give you a bit of information about the farm, actually, we're a little over 300 acres at the moment, primarily all tenant farming. We do own a little bit, and I am looking, again, from a business perspective, we're looking to increase our privately owned land. So we will be trying to acquire a little bit more grassland when we can. So about 300 acres, of which, like I say, 200 is grass, and then we have 100 of crops. At the moment we have some wheat and some potatoes in the ground at the moment, all of which will be coming up to harvest very shortly. We do crop rotate, but only crop rotate between barley, wheat, canola occasionally, and we like to put potatoes in now and again as additional dietary food for the dairy cows. But more often than not, we have to, like I say, we have to keep with the straw crops just so we can provide our own cattle bedding, really. Straw prices at the moment are skyrocketing because of the poor weather we have, so it's detrimental to the farm in practice if we do actually grow anything that we can't use the straw from. But this is one of our main silage fields. Our mower is a 4-foot mower, and it actually spreads the swath out nice and wide, so it does look like there's not a lot here, but it will row up quite nicely. What we're waiting for at the moment, we've got another silage field over there. There's 1, 2 in this direction, which are all mowed, ready to go. And we're actually just waiting for wait for the contractor to arrive with his rake. He's going to rake everything up for us, and then we can get cracking with some silage today. So I'm going to head back to the farm. I'm going to give him a ring, see where he's at. He said he was going to be here by about 10 to 1, so he's... Well, as you can see, my man is going, and he's going hard. He's got a huge new rake. Let's have a look at this thing. He's actually putting 3 the bit rows into one at the moment. This thing is bloody massive. So as you can see, my old forager's got a lot of work to do to pile through all this as a swath, but we'll get there. So yeah, we're going to let him go ahead there. I think it's Paul who's driving now, I think he said his name was. So Paul's going to push through, see what he can do. I need to try and get his headland off before the rake does too much damage. But yeah, so he's going to make very quick time of this field. So we're going to go back into our old Massey here, pick up the next silage trailer and bring that down. And then once we have that one down here, we can kind of get going. Unfortunately, this morning or this afternoon, it's going to be me working on my own. I don't have any farmhands helping me. I try and get helping when I can. As it is right now, I wasn't able to source anyone for this afternoon, but the weather was right and I wanted to make a push on with it. So it's going to be me doing the most of this work. But we'll see what we can do. We'll make a good start. We're probably not going to come to this field again because I don't want to harass the cattle too much. But I might bring the forager down through here as well. So yeah, we're going to make a start. We'll get pushing on here, and you'll come along for the ride if you'd like to. And we're going to see what we can do. I just need to quickly get this next trailer down there. I feel like this afternoon's going to be full of a lot of changing around the tractors. Maybe keeping myself fit, that's for sure. Hooked up to here and away we go again. So the case is already now with the buck rake, that is ready to go. We'll probably get someone to come and sit in the pit actually and just keep rolling that down because it's a bit of a slow task and we need to kind of keep on top of it really. That's not a problem. So we've got this little field here, this is all mowed down. This is only a little paddock here, about 10 acres, nothing too big. And we've got that 20-acre field just over there. It has a pond in the corner of it though, so it's not quite as big as it looks. And then the slightly bigger field here. Okay. So I'm going to go and park up here. I'm going to walk back up and get my other tractor and we'll get going. So guys, as you can see here, we are well underway in this field. I didn't get around to putting the camera back on, unfortunately, because we got a little bit busy there. But we're making some great progress here now. As you can see, we have the foragers working in full swing here. I do trail the trailer behind the forager as well. It's a lot easier to fill it up, particularly when you're kind of working on your own here. So we are making some good ground. These swaths are proving a little bit thick and heavy to manage, but we're trying our best. We're pushing through as much as possible. What I do think I'm going to do is make a separate time-lapse video of me leading off to the pit, and then also some pit work as well. So we'll capture that one later. But for right now, as I said, we are kind of making some good progress here. We've got a few more ends to finish up, and then we're going to go into our field down the hillside there. You can see it's all being ready for us. I've kind of stopped the rake plan to go too much farther. We're going a bit, don't want to get too ahead of us really. If the day wears on here, we might find that it's going to take us a little bit of time to get through, so we're just going to leave him to do this thing. But so far, yeah, we're going nice and steadily, and it's all coming along very well. We're just going to get ourselves swung on into this next swath here. As you can see there, the pickup reel of the forager can just about pick everything up, but it is proving a little bit difficult. We are missing a little bit, so we have to go back and kind of tidy all that up. But we're just about scraping it all in here. It doesn't take too long to fill up the trailer either when it's this full. So far the grass is looking very good, it's quite thick. We have a lot to our swath here, so we have a good thick crop of grass in this first cut, which is very pleasing. So we're going to get a nice full pit by the end of it, I should hope. Typically we like to kind of fit in, we'll do 2 cuts of silage and then some silage bales as well, just to ensure that we do have enough as a third cut option there. When you get down to kind of third cut as well, it gets very wet and the conditions are not great to get everything picked up, so sometimes baled silage is a little bit more convenient to actually get it picked up into our pit. So what we'll have to do here in a minute is just get this, fill this trailer up, and then we'll have to stop and just unhook this one down, get the other one up, and get it all up and working again. What I'm going to do moving forward though is just start a brief little time lapse to show, get the rest of this field finished, and probably start the next one. It's a long process, so I don't want to keep you here with me too long. So we will come back and I'll catch up with you in a short while. welcome back everybody. As you can see, we're just about finished the second little paddock field here. For obvious reasons I call this leg field. We have made some good progress, all being told. Very happy with how we're going this afternoon. However, I am desperate to go and get something to eat, so we're going to stop now and just take an hour or so for lunch, I do think. We will be looking to push on into the next paddock over, get that wrapped up this afternoon, and maybe get the headlands off of the big field that we were in just before. But other than that, right now we're doing very well. The pit's filling up nicely. I am going to put a little compilation together of us leading off from the pit and also some pit work just for you guys to see how that all takes effect. But thank you very much for watching the first in this new series here down on Coldborough Farm. So do keep an eye out for more in the future. But until then, take care and enjoy what you're doing, and we'll see you next time. Happy farming!